Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin TV, our Wave Making Wednesday episode 365. I know we were expecting an interview, but due to commitments, Hannah Chapman could not make it probably until the end of the school year. So what we will do is our favorite reviews of our favorite comic book. Fantastic reviews. We will be doing 22, Fantastic Four, 22 and 23 from the 44 years of Fantastic Four. And I am looking forward to tonight. Before we get started, if you're liking if you like our interviews when we have them, if you like these reviews, if you like Just Cuz, everybody loves Just Cuz. Please like and subscribe, and especially watch the shows, watch the previous shows. And I've got probably a short coming up soon. I've just got to get the time to do it. And if you are so inclined, as FKHC 2005 says, make sure, oh God, make sure Dr. Raymond Boom doesn't send Snorty and Trike to collect his money. Pay here. Well, first let's take care of the boom in the room. So, and here is the tip link. So if you want to go out there and put some ducats in the bucket and keep those two shysters, Snortopoopus and Trike, away from your house. Because Snort will crunch you with a bear hug, and Trike will poop on your floor. So I don't think you guys want that. Also, please watch the additional. I expanded the Just Cuz playlist, so you can go in and watch that. We're close. We are close. I don't want to jinx it yet, and I haven't checked lately. So we are getting close to the magic 3,000. So let's keep watching the videos. And like I said, I've got playlists. And yes, Snort, Trike will stare into your soul. Yes, he does. And then follows up with a big woof. So let me welcome everybody who is here. We've got everybody from the Lifeguard Corps. We've got our producer, Sandra. This is King Dolphin TV in color and stereo where appropriate. And it is a Sandra Feliciano production. We have FKHC 2005. We have Legatus Legionnaire. And we got the Bear Beyond Compare. smarter than the average bear, meaner than the average bear. Snortopus! Cube Bart. Dot screen. Hashtag roar. Have a great show. It's clobbering time. Oh, and hail trike and hail snort. All right. And snort says, ah! All right. Let us get started. So these issues start 1964 for the Fantastic Four. Right. Okay, why? Okay, there we go. Yes, R.I.P. Clobby. I miss him. All right, so episode 22. Celebrate the return of the first villain the FF ever faced. See how the Mole Man is presented now. And the proudest achievement of the mighty Marvel Group. And Reed's warning the team not to touch that wall. Let's see. And so let us begin. There is, oh wow, ahead of its time, and you've heard about it, you've read about it. The world's smallest wrist radio, all transition wristwatch type radio, loud and clear reception guaranteed. $4.98. And how much is an iWatch? An iWatch right now? iWatch right now, it's $498 at least. So, yeah, see, they're ahead of their time. All right, so let us begin. The Fabulous Fantastic Four present the return of the Mole Man, the first foe the FF ever faced as a team. Written by Stan Lee, drawn by Jack Kirby, inked by G. Bell, and lettered by S. Rosen. Okay, so Reed has decided he's going to test Sue's invisibility. And she actually looks kind of cute in this drawing here, even with that goofy hat. She's saying this device would make the kookiest hat. And Johnny's playing juggling with his flames, and Ben is bored. He says, why do we have to hang around? Because the mad scientist wants to play footsies with Sue. And Reed is saying, you have greater powers of invisibility than you suspect. The problem is, how do you learn to control these powers? Okay, so Reed's taking off the helmet. And Johnny is antagonizing Ben, as usual. And Johnny just gave him a hot foot on the tush, so they are starting their usual shenanigans. So Ben is getting ready to clobber Johnny, but he's going to do some chemical foam. And Johnny's running away, and Ben zaps, and then Sue creates her first force field. Ben goes, just call me Smokey the Bear. Hey, what the? Look, Sue's saying, you almost hit me. And Reed's saying, you created a shield of energy. And Johnny is surprised. And Reed's saying the radiation must have increased the power, but the shield is too thin. And he tries to get her to do a thicker shield. And working to control it to make a protective screen. And Reed's saying he wants to try to break the force field, and he tries and does not do it. And then Johnny tries, and it's resisting his flame. And it actually can't go at his higher flame because he's getting tired. So they are really excited at the fact she's got a force field power. And then a policeman comes in. And he looks like Laurel. He looks like Laurel in the drawing. The device, their security device took a picture of the badge, checked it, and unlocked the outer doors. And his partner wanted to come up, but he lost. And the complaint is the ICBM that violates the zoning law. And he's saying he has a permit from the CAA, which is the predecessor of the FAA, and he's gonna show the permit to the officer. And Ben's looking to get Ben's picking up the phone, and everybody's complaining. One guy about flares. One person about him hitting the punching bag, but shakes the building. And a scaredy cat. And a complaint about the weapons, and thinks that they're all communist spies. He decides he's going to crush the phones into dust. And then a sculptor comes in to take pictures or to do a sculpture. And he's looking for the torch. He's showing a picture of the masterpiece, Twilight over Hoboken. And it melted as he flew by. And he's got a lawyer to sue Johnny. Boy, they sure don't like the Fantastic Four. So and then all of a sudden they're being tossed out to the elevator. And now he's saying he is not going to sue. Johnny's confused, and he's saying that Sue might have had something to do with it. And she's saying she had everything to do with it. And and Sue has something up her sleeve. And what it was Sue had a tea tray table, and it rolled the two characters down the hall. And Sue shows her third power, that she can make other things invisible. And Ben's saying, but you can only handle one thing at a time. When you make something else invisible, you get visible. And when you make something visible, you get invisible. Now I'm beginning to sound as nutty as Reed. All right. So let's go to our ads. We've got, you could draw any person in 1 minute simply by tracing on an overhead projector. You could get, let's see, how much? Send no money. Do a 10 free 10-day trial. I wonder if they still have those where you could trace. Maybe I could be an artist with one of those food ads. And then the next one is you'll have fun and thrills as this 7-foot giant zooms 500 feet in 3 minutes. You know, I could type trike to that, and he could fly up in the sky. 200, 500, 700,000 feet and more. Yeah, right. Just got to have the perfect wind. Oh, even on calm, almost windless days. Yeah, right. I was trying a kite once, and my dog, not Snoopy, but my previous dog, found a lot of sport in me trying to fly a kite. All right, so let's see what everybody's saying. Let's see. Hey, Tim. Yeah, R.I.P. Clobby. Yes, I miss him. Tim's back. Clobber Times. This is 64. This is 1964, Tim. It's 51.71 for the watch for today. You will get a Laurel and Hardy handshake. Can you draw on a quarter line? No, get Snorty to do that. Has anyone ever had flying a kite right? I never did. All right, let's get back to it. So, and Sue's excited about the new powers. I can detect my invisibility at only one thing at a time. If I make something else invisible, I turn visible. And Sue's or Ben saying, that they've already did that before. And then the phone. And Sue's making Ben invisible. And then Reed is, look at that face on Reed. He just looks utterly disgusted. And wrong phone number. She made Ben invisible. And the alarm system, they got more visitors because the alarm system's off. And Reed's saying, oh, this was careless. And young man, we want you to represent the Women's Canasta and Mahjong Society. We want you to stop your dangerous experiments. If anything ever goes wrong, you're liable to make the whole neighborhood radioactive. And right in the middle of the annual Mahjong tournament. And Reed's saying, why don't you write me a letter? And a little a strange robot, looks like Herbie, starts. He says, "This sounds like ARG and PJ's thing. One side, Reedy boy. If these gals want to complain to someone, let them complain to me." And Reed's saying, well, "Who put that together?" And then they all ran off. And Ben was actually the cause of the robot. Reed wants to find a new place to do the larger experiments. And then there's a deserted island off the coast of New Jersey. Of course, New Jersey. And Reed is saying, this island sounds perfect. And it's and he's saying they can store the ICBM and other equipment, which other people have been complaining about. So they head in their undersea car, and and they're talking about buying the island. They detect the island, and the island is surrounded by a reef. And so they investigate. Reed stretches over to it, and he melts the reef so they can pass over. They cross into the island, and it looks kind of creepy for them. And then they see that the UCAR is sinking, and Johnny's saying that it's being pulled underwater. But Johnny, as he was trying to investigate, he gets smothered, and Reed has to rescue him. And Ben says, "I ain't looking for medals. Just don't drop the kid. I've gotten used to the pest." All right. And there is a character watching them. So they don't have a UCAR, and they are stuck. And then they see somebody running away. Reed is chasing him, and then he was going to stretch, and a rock formation fell down to trap Reed. And Ben says, "What's the difference how he did it? Boy, if you were being clobbered by a Martian, you'd spend your time wondering how to got to Earth instead of fighting back." And then he reveals himself. He is the Mole Man, saying, "Welcome to my kingdom, the kingdom of Subterranea." And the next set of ads. You can get a musical jukebox bank, magic cards, see behind glasses. That's made a comeback. Jiu-jitsu, a bike window, a bike windshield, and you could cause your TV to have a crack. So cool stuff. An atomic smoke, you know what? All right. Snort has been someone wants Snort to fly a kite. And he says Joycey. All right. Back we go. So Mole Man was behind the complaints and the island. And there's his subjects. And he presses a lever and they fall down. And then there's a warm air that slows them down and they land on a net. And I think this is the first time we've heard Ben say Aunt Petunia. My dear old Aunt Petunia always told me I'd get in trouble if I wasn't careful of the company I hung around with. I should have listened to her. And Reed's thinking it's a trap. And Johnny wonders what he's up to. And there's a wall that are preventing them from escaping. Reed is saying the whole island is under the control of the Mole Man, and he says, wait. And then, of course, Ben is saying, what do you think? This is one jam you can't talk your way out of. I'm going to get over the wall and not find a few heads to knock together. And Reed is saying Reed pulls him back, and because the wall started to glow as Ben approached it, and it's radioactive. So, and Reed's actually ticked off. Johnny thinks that he's never seen Reed so grim. And Sue's over there going, he's trapped on a strange island miles from home at the mercy of a madman hungry for revenge. How will we ever get out of this? So the Mole Man says it's radioactive from the inside, not the outside. And he's gonna monologue. He's gonna monologue. You may have wondered why I trapped you here, what my purpose is. All in good time. I enjoy seeing the puzzled look on your accursed faces. In Fantastic Four 1, they thought the Mole Man was destroyed after the island was destroyed. But the Mole Man had underground tunnels. So he escaped through his network. And then he started working on his revenge. He began making hydraulic platforms under the cities of Earth, and they will start lowering the cities down to Earth, down to the core. He's thinking that when the cities are lowered, people start thinking it could be an A-bomb attack, and thus World War III will begin and end. And the mole man's saying they can't do anything about it, and he's going to press the button to bring New York and Moscow down into the corner of the earth. But Sue uses her force field. And to be continued. HypnoCoin, new pocket-sized invention, helps hypnotize in minutes. I wonder if I could use that on Snortopoopus. Could I make Snortopoopus into a chicken by hypnotizing him? And it's free. Run amazement parties and gatherings with fascinating hypnotic feats of memory, stunts, and exhibition. Only for an hour. Only for $1. And then, of course, the coins that say they're $11,000. Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine Snortopoopus being made to turn into a chicken? That. Let's see. Hello, Agent Pepsi 1. Yeah. How you doing, darling? Wasn't there supposed to be a segment on UFOs and the paranormal? Yeah, there was. I think the person I was going to interview had a beg off, yeah. School. Yeah, she had school. She had to work through the school year. Yep. We'll save it for the next time. We will do something. I was going to share my 2 times I saw unusual stuff and tortured Steven to get information out of him. We could get Steven to talk about unidentified flying cargo planes. Yeah, you could save it for a couple months from now. Yeah. All right. Ooh, that sounds like a good meal. Stopped at Subway, meatball sub special, 2 cookies and large pretzels. Pepsi. Yeah. You're talking about planes and a UFO. For a moment, I thought Agent Pepsi 1 was talking about the wedding night honeymoon. Runs away before being smacked by Agent Pepsi 1. Hello, Swift -1. How you doing, buddy? Good. Who says good? Good. Some way. I'm so proud, Agent Pepsi 1. Quick dinner of chicken tenders, potatoes, chicken strips, potatoes, and green beans. Yum. Hello, old man bird. How you doing? All right. Let me get past the... Hello, Wendy. Oh, wow. People coming in now. Wendy Sales says, hail to the pod. Okay. Okay. Let us continue. Okay, so Sue used her power to move to trap the button. and he can't get to it. And the force field's keeping him done. And they guessed it was her, and he said they got to do something fast because she doesn't know how long it can hold. And Reed asks to put the force field around her, around them, and they'll be able to get it over the wall. They're completely shielded, and she's hoping she can maintain it. And they jump over the wall, and they begin fighting the Subterraneans. And then there are traps. A vacuum flames off Johnny. And then Sue and Reed are caught in the trapdoors. And then Ben is running toward the Mole Man. And then he falls down and falls into quicksand. And he's saying that he's got a brain. So what he does is he finds these pipes and goes through the outlet to hide from the sand. And Sue is trapped in a room where she's only got a half a minute before nerve gas explodes. And there's a bunch of illusions. So what she does is she makes the device, or makes the room visible, and finds it. And of course, they did an editor's note saying, even though we just we just had the exposition, when she makes something else visible, she becomes visible, and vice versa. So he gets up. Reed is being surrounded by gas, and he with no ways to squeeze through. He decides, or the Mole Man was thinking that Reed would look for an escape. But Reed decides he's going to make his own opening. He puts himself into a ball, and he starts expanding his skin and busts the door open. And he collapses. And then he revives in the Mole Man's control room. And then the torch is still trapped in the vacuum room, and the cells extinguish his fire. And then he gets zapped by ice. So what he does is he takes a solid piece of ice, shapes it, and then shatters the mechanism. 102 smash songs, $3.49. Includes top rock, rhythm, pop, and country hits. Music galore for all the current dances. Complete record library. Plus free dance instructions. And there is grit. There is grit. 5 cents profit on every copy you sell. Tribute to Spider-Man. Special tribute to teenagers issue. Spider-Man takes on the Human Torch. He fights Flash Thompson and versus the Living Brain. Now on sale. And then here's some shop by mail. You can get 100 magnets. You could do 1,000 magic tricks. Jet engine burns gas. And you got bike decals. All right, let's see. What have I missed? Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. All right, let's see. I am looking. Hello, Phantom Outsider. Hello, Fanty. Let's see. You know, Swift -1 didn't get it right. Excellent. Your conversion to the fast food side is almost complete. Tomorrow, Taco Bell. Okay. Meetings and end of month. Yeah, I had to do some preparation for some classes coming in next week. Okay. Old Man Bird says, Snort, bring us one of your polar vortexes. And I did say hello to Phantom Outsider. Just so you know, Stephen and I celebrated our honeymoon driving through Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont. It was lovely indeed. Hey, you can always come by West Virginia. You could get into Dulles. Ooh, Swift -1 is that Outback. Huh?
Why would anyone want to fly into Dulles?
In the 1960s, quicksand was everywhere. No matter where you went, quicksand. Large sirloin and some of their fresh bread. Yeah, I never saw quicksand. Tim is saying, hope you eat some more pickles this weekend. Yeah, Tim found some pickle gummy worms. When in actuality, quicksand is very, very, very rare. They also had cartoons where everyone was always in a band. Yeah. Let's see. That sounds horrible. In Connecticut, they got clam pizza. Ew. Mass has the Red Sox. Ugh. New Hampshire, no one cares. In Vermont, got Bernie, and who wants to hear him droning on? Yeah. Uh-oh. Wendy does have pickle snacks coming. I too am surrounded by gas, but I squeezed it myself. Da-bum. And that gets you to pits. All right. Wendy, did you recover from the dill pickle beer? Oh, we're going to get started there. More interested in going from hotel to hotel. After all, we just got married. Ah. The X-ray specs, yeah. In the 60s, you could walk into a living room and there was quicksand also. In every garage, there was a band. No one was, but the bands were everywhere. Maybe the bands fell into the quicksand. Let's see. Oh, what kind of TV? Let's see. Song ideas. Well, I know few since it's 63 when this comic came out. How about a song about a paperback writer or a song about some strawberry fields? Okay. Yeah, agreed. And it's not showing any sign of stopping. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, Cheech and Chong. Dave's not here. All right, let's see. All right. And old man said Jill shouted out. Where is that? Where is it? Yep. Anti-derivative broadcast out an ad for the stream. Thanks, Jill. Ooh, Samsung. Home theater. I don't want a pickle. Just want a motorcycle. Ever hear that song from Arlo Guthrie? All right. Back to the show. All right. So Johnny burns out of there, and Ben is fighting the subterraneans. So he shakes them off, and he turns his lair to darkness, and Ben falls off the cliff. And Reed hears it. So he grabs Ben and rescues him. And Ben saying, or Reed makes a ramp and Ben climbs it and saying, "You're not going to hold me to anything I promised while I was under the influence." I love, just an on-side note, they scanned with you could see the staples. That's cool. And the mole man avoided the stick, and Ben starts attacking the mole man. And then he drops a boulder on Reed and Ben, and Johnny disintegrates it. The mole man escapes the tunnels and heads to the control panel. But Sue found the what was that? Sue finds the undersea car and they head out. And they get to the undersea car. And Reed's saying, "Get out of here." And then the mole man gets the device, hits the button, and the island, Reed cross-circuited whatchamacallit, and the Mr. Fantastic had previously arranged the main circuit wiring so that nothing sinks beyond the Earth's surface except the mole man's island itself, destroying all of his complex scientific equipment under one mad inundating tide of water. So the mole man is caught again. So, and there's the fan page. Dave Cockrum. I wonder if it's the same Dave Cockrum who drew later on. All right. So, and they're starting their announcements. First, Spider-Man 8, where Spider-Man fights the Human Torch. Ben teams up with Johnny Storm in Strange Tales. Thor fights Journey in a different type of foe. Iron Man has the Angel. So, also, many readers have asked why we have so few artists drawing so many strips. Well, the reason is they have a small, closely knit team. You'll notice that sometimes Jack Kirby will draw Giant Man. Don Heck may draw him. Steve Ditko inks Jack's drawings. A lifetime of fun, money, and friends from Amateur Magic. You can be a magician too. And there's He-Man, Mike Marvel, and then learning radio, television, electronics on your spare time. And there is hypnotism. I want Snortopoopus to be hypnotized and turned into a chicken. All right, that is the end of issue number 22. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. An animal made off with the flip-flop. She only has a single pink one. Tim says, heard Allison's Restaurant. I love Allison's Restaurant. Steven wears a size 13 clown shoes. Snort says, maybe a bear. Aww. You got the dropsies, huh, Wendy? I mean, hey, Agent Pepsi 1. The ceramic pot got shattered. Dogs love slippers. '63. The 63 top songs is He's So Fine, Too Bad He Fell in Quicksand, Surfing USA, Look Out for Quicksand, and I will follow him, hopefully, not into quicksand. One day I'll avoid quicksand. Oh, only two or three times? That's too bad. Agent Pepsi one. Legata says maybe they buried him. Trike is lying on his side barking, too lazy to stand up. And Dipsy does that. Take care, Wendy. Take care. Other songs, My Boyfriend's Back Out of the Quicksand, Walk Right In and Sit Right Down in Quicksand, Puff the Magic, Dragging You into Quicksand. Let's see. Tried my hand at a magic act and tried sawing my assistant in half, but she was divided about it. Yep, that's true. Oh, welcome back, Agent Pepsi 1. She has edema, the dropsies. Yes, I knew what you meant. Just check for mounds, nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's probably going to be shredded. Born to be quicksand, a white shade of quicksand. Oh, we're going to have quicksand for the... We're going to have quicksand jokes tonight. I'm just got this sinking feeling, and I'm going down quick. I guess it's because I'm in quicksand. All right. Okay, next one. All right. All right. Hey, Fez. Fez forever. Quick, sand, said the engineer to the fireman. I've just got this sinking feeling. All right. Hello, Fez. Woof. Mr. Sandman, give me a drink. La, 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 la. Okay, you take care, Agent Pepsi 1. See you Saturday. Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink. Do, 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 do. Hey. Come on, Snort. We all know your botched attempts at sawing people in half was just a way to claim dibs on the leftovers. Take care, Agent Pepsi 1. Happy schnoozing. Food coma. Mr. Quicksand, pull me under. All right. So now we go to episode or issue 23. And what's a Fantastic Four issue without Doc Doom? Another mighty milestone in the Marvel Age of Comics. the master plan of Dr. Doom. Dun, dun, dun. And there's the radio. The Fantastic Four become victims of the master plan of Dr. Doom. Written by Stan Lee, illustrated by Jack Kirby, inked by George Bell, lettered by S. Rosen, probably Sam Rosen, and barking in the background is Trek. And all of a sudden, a dinosaur comes running in. And Ben says, I thought you were keeping your pink little eyes on Dr. Doom's time machine. Look what happened while the circuit was open. Reed's trying to grab the dinosaur and saying, why can't I get out of the room for a minute without something going wrong? And Johnny's going to flame on. And the dinosaur is running around avoiding Ben and Johnny. And Johnny's saying, if it wasn't me for saving your hide all the time, we'd be the Fantastic Three long ago. And the dinosaur is just so slippery from Ben. And Johnny doesn't want to burn him. Johnny's extinguished, but Sue grabs him. I know what it is. There. I hear you, Trike. So Ben has got, or Sue's got the dinosaur in a force field, and Reed knocks him out. And Ben is kind of irritated at Reed barking orders, and Reed actually told a joke. Did anybody tell you you're funny as a crush and half as decorative? And the dinosaur is gone. And Reed is yelling at Sid. And Reed is upset at Ben and Johnny. And Reed is really letting him on all right. And yeah, Reed's definitely got a lead. Reed's got a tube. He said, it's in case it slipped your minds, the work we do here means something. Someday the fate of mankind may rest on one of our experiments. And Reed is saying, or Ben's saying, I'm not taking the talk. And Reed's saying, Ben's saying, let's elect a new leader. Johnny's saying, time for a change. And Reed or Sue is agreeing with the others. And then we move to a courthouse. And somebody is on trial, and some strange person is watching. And a guy was paid on bills, or put on bail, and a limousine drives up and takes him to an unknown location. And the yogi wants to meet this person. And And this guy Curly is saying, "You're going to learn the answer, but not from me." And the critter, the guy falls down and is a robot. And there is a disembodied voice. And now the voice is making introductions. Bull Brogan arrested for beating up 6 husky longshoremen who wouldn't join the protection racket. What Bull lacks in brains makes up for brawn. Handsome Henry Phillips, behind the movie star features, he's got the cunning brain of a con man. And then Yogi Dakor is the fireproof man, but he was arrested for stealing the payroll. And now they get to see who it is, and it is Doom. He says, "Only I would bail 3 criminals with special talents out so that they may serve me. And their job is to destroy the Fantastic Four, because with them gone, the world will bow to Dr. Doom." All right. And then they're doing an election. And they put the names of each of the persons that they should lead the FF. And so they put hidden names on hidden cards. And what do? They put their own names. And Ben's saying, "I'm the strongest. Give me the top dog." Sue says, "I think it's time we tried a female." And Johnny's saying it's him. And Johnny and Ben get into another fight. And Sue's saying, "Johnny, stop it, because they can't control their tempers." And Johnny tries to swat him with a fly swatter. Ben's ready to send him to the hospital. And there's the drawing, and there's the kite. And then fireballs at Ben. And then Ben traps Johnny in asbestos. And then the 3 of them are, Sue's trying to referee him. Johnny's getting ready to go after Ben. And then Sue puts up a force field. And separates them. And then Reed comes out and separates them. He says, I didn't spend a fortune furnishing this place to have you 2 clowns wreck it for me. And now they're starting to feel a little bad. And Reed's saying, "Look, all of you think I like being the leader of a group of temperamental prima donnas? You're crazy. But someone's got to do it, and I'm the only one to stand you." And says, "Sue didn't mean you. It's just he's had a lot in his mind. We know Dr. Doom is still at large." And Reed's giving them brooms to clean up the place and saying, "If you want to quit, there's the door." Woof. So now Doom is increasing the powers of these goons. And so each one is increased. Harry can hear the invisible girl no matter where she can hide. Brogan has been amplified a dozen times. And Yogi is almost fireproof. So he's going to protect them as long as they are loyal. And now they start, the plan begins. Torch is going to get a car from a Maharaja. And Johnny goes after it. But he's not going to tell Ben. And Ben has got a letter from the Yancey Street Gang. And Sue's testing her invisibility. So Johnny sees this fancy schmancy car, and he thinks it looks better than the Fantastic car. And they start driving, and it's pretty much a cruise control car. And Johnny's saying this guy must be a genius. And he says, as you say, he is a genius. Johnny says Mr. Fantastic has the top spot. And Sahib, the Maharaja, says his master is more superior. And now Johnny is trapped. And nothing, the car is lined with asbestos. And Johnny tries increasing his flame, and it doesn't work. And gas knocks him out. Which is really, okay. The gas knocks Johnny out, but he's still in flame. That's kind of doesn't work. Johnny would be out after that. And there's the jukebox and all the other cool stuff. All right. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Hello, Gary Ambrosia. How you doing, buddy? Happy belated birthday. All right. Okay. Yep, there's Gary. Quicksand, quick lime, Nestle Quick, but no quick ducks. Trike is barking to remind me to unpin the chat comment. Another issue, Sue saves the group. All right. And hail Gary Ambrosia. Okay. Add to films we love, Jabberwocky. Sandra asked Gary, how was the birthday? Good, quiet, peaceful. too young to have a quiet, peaceful birthday. They didn't pay to Snorty to track the money. Yeah. Ouch. Do not gloss over the election. Some claimed Sue was weak and had no voice. Who did Sue vote for as leader? She voted for herself. Johnny voted for himself, and Ben voted for himself. Tim says, I wonder how they could get away with some of the stuff in these FF comics today. How they show some countries and people. Was the gas from Shrike. All right, banners down. Time to get back to it. Okay. Ben is heading to Yancey Street. And Yancey, he's going through Yancey Street, and a kid has caught his hand, and he saves him. And he says, I wish I was big enough to whap you one. If anyone on the street sees that I let you help me, my name's Mud. Okay. And he's telling the Yancey Street guy, giving him 10 seconds to come before he gets mad. And then the big guy, starts brawling with the Thing. He's saying, yippee, this is my lucky day. You're big enough not to fall apart when I land a haymaker on you. And he wraps the Thing with a fire escape, and the thing breaks out of it, and he zaps the Thing with a cosmic beam ray, and it turns him back into Ben Grimm. So, and the guy clobbers Ben. He's strong enough to handle a dozen Ben Grimms. And Dr. Doom is watching this. And Sue's still testing her powers, but Reed comes through the door and surprises Sue. And Reed is tying Sue and puts him in a chain. And he's saying, what about Doom? And Sue loosens him up with a force blast. And I'll thank you not to call me dear. I'm still angry with you. And Reed is really just like a woman. Everything I do for your own good, but you're too scatterbrained and emotional to realize it. I can play it your way too, Miss Storm. And she's over there saying he's right, and that's why I'm angry. If only he understood females better. And then there's a knock on her door. Uh-oh. And Hypno coin and the expensive coin. Let's see. Woof woof. He's after the money. Yep. Okay. All right. And now he's trying to schmooze on Sue. And she was thinking Reed's going to be jealous. And she smelled them, and they are tranquilizing gas. And fortunately, Sue said, "Luckily, Reed warned me to be on guard. I held my breath while holding the flowers just in case." And Sue becomes invisible. And he hears her heartbeat. And he zaps her with the gas. And Doom is gloating. And the flare went up, and Reed is going to follow where Ben is. And Ben helps Doom trap Reed in plexiglass. And Doom reveals that Ben is a robot. And they are taken to a warehouse, and Reed is trapped with the rest of the team. And Johnny says, "Some heroes we are. You can't pull that thing out of the wall because it's electrified, and I can't burn through this asbestos cord." And he destroys the robot. And he's going to he gives them what they think is $5,000. And this time they go into another dimension. And Doom says, "You'll stay there until he needs them again." So Sue frees Ben with her force field. And Ben is saying, "Next time you convince us how useless we are without you, try to remember who got you out of this glass fishbowl." And Doom hits Thing with a hydraulic press. And Doom is ready to give Sue a stronger dose of sleeping gas. And Sue can't use her force field because she's weak. Reed spins Doom and tells tells Sue to help Johnny and Ben. And Ben crunches it. And Ben frees Johnny. Doom freezes Raid with some sort of refrigerating unit. And Reed is trapped. And Doom escapes. And Ben hits Doom. Reed is freed by Johnny. And Reed is starting to say, some leader I'm turning out to be, if not for you three. And Johnny's saying, we all need each other. And boom, that is the war cry of bashful Benjamin Graham. Sort of a cross between a nuclear explosion and the bellow of a lonely whale. And he's saying, it's clobbering time. And Doom escapes using his jet belt and hits him while he's still suspended. And Thing says, how can one guy put up such a fight? Because this guy happens to be Dr. Doom, who claims he's more smarter and powerful than Reed. And he escapes from the team. And he traps them. He says he did not expect that I bought this warehouse because my research discovered it's in the path of a solar wave that sweeps the earth every 24 hours. Okay. And the floor is dissolving. And space is appearing. And Reed figures out it's a solar wave. Reed found about it at a weather station as it noiselessly brushed past the station. It was attracted by some ionic dust particles that drifted from the atmosphere, and then the roof was gone, transferred to space in some strange way. And Doom coated the room with that power. And Sue uses her force field and traps him along with the team. And the space is getting closer. Sue can't find the weak spot. And Reed says, it's coming closer, Doom. Not much time left. If we go, you do. And Doom comes back because he doesn't want to die with them. And Ben tosses Doom wherever into space. And then they all escape through the room, as the rest of the other room goes into space. Ben says that he doesn't mind that Reed stays as leader of the FF. And all that's left is girders. And Ben gets the last word saying, if you ask me, we should have elected Doom. And that is the end of Fantastic Four number 23. All right. Hello, Gap After Dark. All right. Hello there. When did I say boom? Let's see. Woof, woof, woof. He's after the money. But the loonies these days seem to think Sue had no agencies. No, Sue voted for Sue. He did not vote for Reed. Boy, Ben was a robot just like Snort. And there's Pop Culture Breakdown. I did not. When did I say boom? Oh,
You just said it.
I said it. Welcome, Gap After Dark. All right, so those are the two issues we're doing today. So Doom had them, but somehow the FF decides they can figure it out. All right, so it's time for
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Reagan and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
all right, it's show note time. I caught that. Wait, where'd that go? I thought I got that one. I got that one. I'm sure I got it. All right. Okay. Show notes. All right. This Saturday, we're going to do our Monty Python theme show. Monty Python's 50th anniversary. We will celebrate it. A week from today, we will be doing the All's Fair reading with the Not Ready for Pod Time players. Anti-Druid of Jill, Max Redstone, Comic Relief Crusader, and King Dolphin himself. I am working on another interview, and I will let you know when it's going to be. Just Cuzses will be on their normal Saturday show. And on June, let's see, June 7th, we will be having our theme show. We're doing Corn Hub on June 7th. So that is show notes. I'm not saying it. I am not saying it. And I've got to go to see what's Snorty. Okay. And all right. Oh, he's cute. Okay. Snorter Pooper says, take care of every human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and Klipspringer. TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of the dolphinwars.com. And here is a Klipspringer. He's cute. He is cute. Yeah, he's kind of cute. He looks like a shortened version of an antelope. Spam, 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 spam. Make sure you do the pod raid. Okay. Fez says, someone say corn ham? Yeah, baby. Oh, what? Why can't I say that word? Well, if you want me to. Hello, Herc 130. All right. You asked for it, Gap After Dark. Boom. Ready, probably. All right. Herc is everywhere and nowhere at once. Bring over our music later. What are the first letters on the first 4 words and what does it spell? Huh? He's an evil little deer, like all deer. All right. So that's show notes. And let's say goodnight to everybody. We had GAP After Dark. We had Gary Ambrosia, Herc 130, Old Man Bird, Phantom Outsider, Swift -1. Thank you all for visiting here. And the Lifeguard Corps. We had our producer, Sandra. Barking in the background. We did hear Trike. We had the Fez Man, Fez Forever. We had the lovely Agent Pepsi 1. FKHC 2005, Legatus Legion I. And, of course, cannot forget Snorter Poopas, Cuber, dot screen, hashtag roar. Ah. So, we did it. Take care, Snort. Take care, Trike. Take care, Dolphin. Take care, everybody. Tim was trying to get me to, you know what? Snort says, never, ever, ever say that word. All right. And he did it. Nighty night all. All right, everybody. You have a great week. rest of the week. We will see you on Just Cuz on Saturday. And let's continue to make some waves. Bye, all.